Alright, hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first channel. This is the first video on my channel. And for the first like 2 minutes of the video, the gameplay will be kind of laggy, because my Wi-Fi is not that good. But just bear with me, it will get better. But with that being said, let's just get right into the story time. This is a story of when me and my homie, we'll call him John. Me and John, we're gonna go to a real lit ass party, but it didn't really turn out that way. So this was back in ninth grade, and my homie had told me about this party that his friend was throwing. It was her birthday party, and obviously, what comes with parties, alcohol and weed and everything like that. So I was like, yeah, I was excited to go. It was gonna be my first party I ever went to. So, the day finally comes, and we actually had this plan of I was just gonna stay over at his house, and we was basically gonna sneak out is what was gonna happen. We was gonna sneak out and then go to the party and then come back, sneak back in. So what happened was, so I told my mom, I was staying over there. She said, it was cool. So it was around 8, and we had to walk to the party, and the party was kind of far. So around 8, it started at 9, so like around 8, yeah, we had started to go over there. And after that, we were walking, and we was kind of just talking like, oh man, it's gonna be lit, our first party, everything. And it wasn't in the best neighborhood, it was far, but we had to go through a couple neighborhoods that were kind of ghetto. But so we're going over there, and it was getting darker and darker. And as we're going over there, we realized that, like, wait, this we don't really know where we going, to be honest. Like, we're kind of lost, and we're on these roads we ain't never seen before. And now we checking the GPS. My GPS isn't working, or the maps isn't working. Is kind of is tripping out. So we're starting to get kind of worried, 'cause we like, oh man, now we don't know where we're at. And my homie John just asked this dude, literally, like, he just got out of his car, and he was like, hey man, you think you could take me here? Me and my friend here. And the dude was actually real cool. He was like, yeah. And his wife came out there. She was just wondering what was going on. He told her, like, oh, I'm gonna take these kids over here to this party. And they were both really cool. They were like, all right, yeah, bet, like, that's fine. So he takes us over there, and when we got over there, it didn't really seem like a party. Well, that's because it wasn't, but it's because there was no cars or no music or nothing. Like, we went straight to the address that John's friend had sent him, and it wasn't that. Like, we walked up to the door, and at this point it actually started sprinkling a little bit. So we knock on the door, and we're like, oh, is this so and so's party? And she's like, no, I don't know anybody like that. So now we're confused, because now we think, oh man, the party's probably going on, we didn't know where it's at, they probably gave us the wrong address. And so we walk back outside, and then it starts to pour, and we walk, and this dude just took us, and yeah, he already left. And it was pouring. It started to pour now, and there was no shelter or nothing. So now we're just literally just like looking and for somewhere to go, to hide under, go somewhere. And luckily this lady stopped and asked if we needed a ride, and we were like, oh yes. But we thought the night, like, oh man, we probably just want to go home and just go to sleep, after this crazy night. We literally walked for like an hour and a half just for all this to happen. But we ended up cause by my homie's house, by John's house, is a McDonald's. And we told her, can you take us to this McDonald's? She was like, yeah. So we like, oh man, we finally gonna go home. And it was still pouring outside. And then she takes us to the wrong McDonald's. She takes us to the other side of town McDonald's. And now we thinking, oh great, man, we just, man, so after that, we really just are under the little McDonald's thing. And we asked one of the workers, like, do you think we could come in here? It's raining. He was like, no, we're closed. The lobby's closed. It was already like 10:30, and now it was like 10:30, 11 now. And we're like, oh man, like, what are we gonna do? Like, we think it. So we was thinking, all right, so we just gonna walk home. We just gonna walk home, because ain't no other way. But luckily, John, he was like, man, he was like, nah, let me just ask my brother. So he called his brother, and his brother ended up picking him up, and he took us home. And on the car ride home, he was asking us what happened, and we told him. And he was just like, oh man, that sucks and whatever. And Really after that, he took us home and he was just like, oh, like just sneak behind me because his brother moved out, so he was just saying like he was gonna go talk to his parents and we are gonna sneak back in um and we snuck back in and we just talked about the night and it was like, oh man, it was crazy. But with that being said, that's it could have went a lot worse, and it could have went a lot better. We could have actually went to the party, but it's not the way it turned out. But if you guys like this story time, give it a like, subscribe. This is my first video on this channel. I'm gonna be posting more. With that being said, thank you and subscribe.